I'm Logan from KromAmericas. Today we're going to walk through the options and features of the BCU 560, 565, and 580, three of Kromschröder's burner control units designed for direct spark and piloted burner applications. So let's take a closer look. The BCU 5 series is a compact burner control unit designed for DIN rail mounting inside an electrical cabinet. The base functionality includes managing ignition, monitoring the flame, and the burner's startup sequence. The BCU 565 and 580 also support timed pre-purge and post-purge. So what separates the BCU 560, 565, and 580? The BCU 560 and 565 are designed for direct spark applications without a separate pilot. If you move up to the 565, you gain the ability to do a pre-purge and post-purge. The BCU 580 can manage both a pilot and a main burner thanks to the dual onboard flame amplifiers, along with all of the capabilities already mentioned for the 560 and 565. There are many options available to expand the base functionality. The C1 option enables a tightness test of your double blocking safety valves using a pressure switch. Alternatively, the same option can be used to monitor the proof of closure switch on the first safety valve. These next three options relate to air control. The F1 option supports IC20 and IC40 actuators, the F2 option supports RBW actuators, and the F3 option supports an air solenoid valve. If your application will reach auto ignition temperature, you'll need the D1 high temperature option to disregard the flame sensor. If the burner you're using has a flameless mode, like the EcoMax LE, then you'll need the D2 option to redirect gas to the central gas lance. If you want an external display on the cabinet door, the OCU can be easily integrated. The OCU also allows you to see operating status and fault messages in plain text rather than as coded error messages. If you need the BCU 5 series to communicate with a PLC, then a BCM module can be installed to enable this. Two field bus protocols are available, Profinet and Modbus TCP. Now, what separates these three BCUs from the BCU 570? The three 5 series BCUs we're focusing on today can be paired with an unlimited number of FDUs for multi-point flame monitoring. The BCU 570, on the other hand, is designed exclusively for single burner applications. It's also important to note that the BCU 570 does not include the option for the high temperature bypass or flameless modes. The last key difference is that the BCU 570 does not require 24-volt signals to start, perform a remote reset, or to enable external air control. The other three 5 series BCUs do require 24 volts for those particular functions. Here we are connected to our demo BCU 565. So I just wanted to quickly run through BCSoft version 4, which is what the 5 series BCU will be using to get connected and change all your parameters. If you need any help getting connected, we've got a video for that, and it is right here. With that out of the way, this is the process values page. This shows you all of your inputs and output information. It shows you a mirror version of the display along with the stage and error codes if there were any, and it will read out a short readout of what that error code would mean if there was one. For any timing situations like purge, what have you, that will count down here. So that is quick run through of the process values page. So let's move over to the parameters tab. So first one under parameters is burner. This is where you'll change your type of application and the type of sensor you're using, the different timings for certain things. If you have high temp option, then you could turn that on or off. A couple more timing things there. So next is the limits page. Depending on the options you have, you can configure those here. This one's for low air pressure detection. You can choose what type of error that will cause onto the air tab. all of your error options here, timings, which type of actuator you're using, or solenoid valve, depending on the options you picked. So this is all about your error control. VPS is your valve proving system. So this can be configured for either POC check or a tightness test with 3 different testing options, or it can be disabled entirely. Moving on to common, got some timing things here. If you want the manual mode to be limited to 5 minutes or unlimited. And then we have some programmable terminals here with various functions, and all of this information can be explained in the technical information. And down here we've got our field bus settings. So if you've got that BCM module, you can disable it if you're not using field bus, or you can do with address check or no address check. And that's it for the common. And then last tab under parameters is extras. This shows you all of your hardware options and also gives you an opportunity to change the pin, which, unless you're going to write that down and have it somewhere safe, I don't recommend you do that because there's nothing we can do to recover it if it gets lost. Last tab is statistics, and the first tab under that is user. So this is all kinds of counters and various data that may be pretty important depending on what you're doing. If this is all blank, you'll need to hit read. You also have the opportunity to reset the user statistics if you'd like. And then total is the same thing, except this cannot be reset, but this is where you would save all of this statistic data and your parameter list into one file. Next we have error history. You can see the last 10 error codes, the operating hour they occurred at. Again, you may need to read if this is all blank. And our final tab is the power module tab. That's got some counters and data for the power module itself with the read button right there. So that's a quick run through of the BCSoft software, and that's what it will look like for the BCU 565. The BCU 5 series is a compact, flexible solution for single or multi-burner controls with reliable monitoring and safety functions. For questions about the BCU 5 series or any other Kromschröder product, feel free to reach out to support@KromAmericas.com. Thanks for watching.